So good morning and welcome to Shakti Flow. As we sit this morning, bring into your awareness your intention of why you're here. Three words I'm thinking about as I've been contemplating the new year. The first one is intention. What is it that we desire? What is it that we need or want? And from that we build awareness to what is present and what we might need to do to create that intention or that desired action. And from intention and awareness, we create what's called inspired action. We move toward what it is that we want. In this case, maybe it's moving your body, and so you signed up for class and came. So everything we do is usually begins with intention. From what we're going to have for breakfast to where we're going to go on vacation. And then we build awareness around it, and then we create inspired action. So today we're going to play with those three elements, letting the movement of the body massage, if you will, this stickiness or this lethargy of not really wanting to move or not moving towards your inspired action. The movement of the body really does help with the flow. So taking your hands together, palms at your heart, holding those three words, intention, awareness, and inspired action as we move together on the mat. Take a nice deep breath. And then as you exhale, hands can relax, eyes can flutter open, shoulders can roll. Okay, so everybody's got their weights, what they need. We're going to start on the floor on hands and knees, like tabletop. So I'll meet you there. Let me adjust this a little bit. All righty. So hands and knees, and then from there, can you come down on your forearms? So let your elbows be on the mat, lined up with your hands and shoulders. We've done this plenty of times. This is a flossing action for your shoulders, chest, and back. So I want you to lean forward a little bit, put some weight into your hands and press into your hands. And then draw the hands as if you're trying to move them backward. At the same time, you move your hips toward the wall behind you. And you're going to stop at a sticky place. Don't worry about going any farther. Then relax the hands and come forward. Push again into the hands, pull them backwards as you move backward, intentionally creating muscular action as you move backward. Push and then move backward. And you should feel this maybe in your underarm area or shoulders, maybe around your upper back. Try to keep your head in neutral. And now when we go back the next time, I want you to look to the right. And then come forward with your eyes in neutral. And then when you go back again, look to the left. We'll do one more in each way. So remember, push down into the hands, pull them backward as you move back, and then relax as you come forward. One more time, turning eyes to left. Good. And then come back to neutral, and let's bring the hands on the mat and come back to tabletop. Toes turned under, inhale for cow pose, heart forward, tailbone up. And then flip your feet down, exhale, tailbone down, head down for cat pose. Inhaling as you move forward, opening chest, and exhaling as you move upward and back, opening the back body. So do 3 more rounds. taking your time. That flossing action that we did in the beginning really can show you if you've got any stickiness in your upper body kind of before you start moving with weights and heavier weight-bearing action. So that's something for you to hold and consider. Okay, after this last round, come back to center. Hands are actively pressing into the floor, and knees are under hips. Take your right foot back. And you're going to lift that leg up as you inhale. Think about your cow pose. Exhale, knee to nose. Think about your cat pose. Inhaling and arcing the back, looking forward. Exhaling, rounding the back, looking in and down. One more. Inhaling and exhaling. And then come back to center with your leg up, and then float the left arm up. Your palm can be down or sideways, whichever works better for your shoulder. Your foot on the floor can be flat like mine or toes turned under, whichever works better for you. Exhale, lower down. Other leg steps back. As you lift the leg, inhale, lift your heart and eyes. Exhale, round like cat. You're imagining that your knee and your nose are going to touch each other. I don't know too many people that can do that. And exhale. And then leg goes off the mat, stays there. Right arm floats upward, finding your stability and your balance. Take one more breath. And then exhale, hands down. With toes turned under, take a breath, shoulders down your back. Lift your knees just off the mat and hover. 3, 2, 1. And then lower the knees, sit back towards your heels, stretching the bottoms of your feet. Come back to table, try it again. Lift, 2, 3, and then down and stretch back. We'll do one more. And just pay attention to what's turning on when you lift your knees off the floor and down and release. This next round, we're going to lift the knees off the floor, and then up with bent legs, go back into downward facing dog. So your legs and your chest get close together first to really expand through the spine. And then you may need to move your feet around a little bit to start to extend your heels. Try not to move your hands. Your hands are rooted. Maybe pedal your legs. This is my first downward facing dog this morning, so my legs feel a little bit on the tight side. And just go at your own pace. Remember, intention. What was your intention for coming to the mat? Building awareness to what is present in your body while we're on the mat. And then I love that word, inspired action. Not force, not hard, just inspired. Take a walk to the front of your mat. Stay in that forward fold. Soften knees, release head and shoulders. As you inhale, float halfway up, fingertips on your shins, heart forward. Exhale all the way down, soften down. Try it one more. Inhale up. And exhale down. And then sit your hips back in that chair, looking forward, arms open and up. Stand all the way to top. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms upside down so they're facing the ceiling, and push through the palms as you push through your feet. Try to make yourself feel longer. And then as you exhale, release hands all the way down, palms together at your heart. Pause. So this first little round, I want to work on the arms, and I'm just going to pick up my lighter weights. So I've got my little 2 pounds here. I'm going to start with that. So this is a little bit of a longer set. And if you want, you can use your block between your legs. You don't have to, but your legs for right now are going to stay quiet. We're going to go into squats, but you can use the block to keep your legs organized. I like to use that word, organized. Okay, so whatever weight you wanted to hold, stand up nice and tall, find Tadasana. or in Tadasana. And really just notice whatever might be going on. And then flip your palms away from your body and bend your elbows so that your elbows are into your side body. They're not behind you. I don't want your elbows back here. They're right here by your side. You're going to open the hands. We've done this before. Crisscross the hands by dropping the palms down. Open, and then crisscross again other way. So alternating your hands. So this is a simple movement. I'm going to add on to this. One more time. Keep trying to change the cross of your hands. Next time your hands go open, reach away from you. Come back in, squeeze elbows, crisscross one time, and then reach away. And then come in and crisscross and reach away. So always bring your elbows back to your side so you've got that anchor, that support. We're working in the shoulder right now. And I didn't want it to be too heavy because this is a little bit of a longer set. All right, now the next time your arms go open, see if they'll come up and around your body, up and around, and then come back and in, elbows squeeze, and then crisscross. Do it again. Now you might notice when you're doing this big arcing movement that there's a little catch in your giddy up somewhere in that range. So if your hands are slightly forward to your shoulder and they're not really straight out, you'll notice there might be a little bit of a softer range of motion. And one more time. And crisscross and up. Good. Now bring your weights to the front of your body. Hold them as if they're one. We've done this before when we were, right before I left, I was doing a lot of these. You're going to go around your head. You're going to twist. And then 4 squats, pushing the weights away from you and pulling back in. Push the weights away from you and pull them back in. Push and pull. One more time, push. Now go the other way, around, around and twist. And then 4 squats. Push. And do on purpose when you're pulling, bring the weights all the way back to the chest or your solar plexus, squeezing shoulder blades together. Okay, around the head, up and around, twist like it's naturally going in that direction, and then 4 squats. And so these squats start to wake your whole body up, not just about your upper body. And then turn around, twist, and 4 squats. Last one. And push. So push your arms away, really push them, and then really pull them. Get those shoulder blades on your back. Good. All right, now a little variation. I want you to bend your knees slightly, hinge your body slightly, and then drop your arms. You're going to open the arms out to the side, and then crisscross your arms underneath you. Open, crisscross. Open, crisscross. So this weight is not heavy. So I wanted you to be able to have these full ranges of motion in your shoulders. And then you could say to yourself, you know, it's not too heavy, it's not too light, it's just right. Or maybe it's too light. Like if I were working to my capacity, this weight is too light. But my next jump is 6 pounds and that's too heavy. So one more. Good. Next time your arms come around you, stay and come to standing. Release your arms and take a moment. All right, let's take these weights down. Get rid of this block. And now I want to move the body around a little bit without weight. So standing in Tadasana, just take a moment here. Inhale, take your arms above your head, interlace your fingers like we did before. Push the palms up and away as you push down into your feet. Really find that sturdy centeredness. Exhale, hands down. So you're going to start with your left leg. I want you to step to the side, touch your front thigh, come back up and step in. Now from here, that same leg is going to step crisscross. You're going to bend and touch this front knee. Curtsy, they call this, up and come together. Try it again, a little bit more of a flow. So step, touch, come in, step, curtsy. Come in, step, touch. Come in, step, curtsy. 2 more. Touch, curtsy, and touch, and curtsy. Good. Pause. And then you decide how that felt in your body. Try the other side slow. Take a step. Come to your knee so your booty's behind you. Come up and become together. And then curtsy back behind you, bending both knees to touch your front one. So your chest should be right over this front knee. And then up. A little bit of a flow here. Step, touch. Step, curtsy. Step, touch. Step, curtsy. One more time. So you want to go slow and just see how it feels. Good. And pause. Now I want you to pick up a weight. We're going to use the weight like our hands. So you can pick up a heavier weight. I'm going to pick up the 6. You can decide what you like, starting at your chest. If you're holding one weight, you can hold it with your hands wrapped around it, or you can hold it on end to end, like I'm going to do. Okay, so you ready? Left leg, step, touch knee. Come back to your chest, step, curtsy to the knee. Come up to the chest, step, touch. Up to the chest, curtsy. Up to the chest, touch. One more time. And then up. Switch sides. Notice every time I come down, I'm touching my knee. When I come back up, my hands are by my chest. Down, up, down, up. So deliberately moving my hands in a bicep curl kind of fashion. Down, up, pause, pause. All right, last round. Gonna make it a little harder so you can stay with the weight you're using, or you can double it. Make it harder. We're doing it on purpose. So if you're using 2 weights, you put them together. You hold them as one. Gonna give you an option with this last one. So you take the step, you go down, and maybe you go to your knee, or maybe you go to the floor. Come back up. Step, try the same idea. Bend both knees to the knee, or maybe go down to the inner foot. Come back up. 4 on this side. Ready? Step, I'm going to go to my knee. Curl, step. Whoops, I forgot. Step, curl. Trying to be good to my body here. And then step, curl. And then curtsy. One more, and then we're going to just switch to the other side right away. So here we go. Step, touch, and up, curtsy, and up. Try to use your legs more than bending forward. See if you can get your legs to do most of the movement. One more. And down. Good. Now weights are at your chest. You're going to go down and up. This is the exact same move we were just doing when we were moving our legs around, so you might not have noticed. Down and up. From here, we're going to go down and then overhead. Push. And then come back. Use your Tadasana legs. Core body's engaged. Down and up. One more add-on. We're going to go down in a squat. So down, stand, squeeze your glutes when you're standing. Down, squeeze your glutes. Don't push your pelvis forward. Just squeeze your buttocks muscles so that you stabilize yourself. One more. All right. Weights down. Come to the top of your mat. Stand in Tadasana for a moment, palms forward. Let your body regulate again from activity to stillness. And then inhale, hands go up, interlace your fingers. Flip your palms so your palms are to the sky. Press through your hands. Squeeze your arms in towards your head. Press through your feet. Really get long. And then as you exhale, float down. Fingertips touch the floor. Bend your knees if you need to. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, come all the way down, and take a step back with your right leg. So you're in a high lunge here. And remember, you can always use blocks underneath your bottom hand if you feel like the floor is too far away from you. Left hand on your left thigh, turn, and take that left hand to the sky. And just breathe here for a moment, pausing. We're slowing it down just a bit. Back knee is nice and long. Exhale, release hands to the floor of the blocks, bet your back knee on the floor. Inhale, raise your arms up. So a little bit of a quadricep stretch here. Take your tailbone down. So my default is to hang in my lower back. So take your tailbone down. It will engage your lower stomach. And then the stretch in the quad on the bottom leg will be a little bit more intense. Take one more breath. Exhale, hands on the floor. Pick up your back knee and straighten your front leg. Breathe. And if you can't straighten your front leg, like you can see, I can't really. I should have blocks under my hands, but I can't grab them right now. Go ahead and step forward. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen. Exhale all the way down. Now take your left leg back. High lunge here. Left hand on your floor block, right hand on the leg, turn. And then maybe right hand to the sky. Knee over front ankle. Back leg lifted. Back heel lifted. Exhale, hand down. And back knee down. Inhale, rise up. And then while you're here, can you play with that tailbone, abdomen, so that it lengthens the spine, wakes up the quadricep a little bit more. Feel free to dip forward if you feel like you need more stretch. Exhale, hands down. Pick up your back knee and then straighten your front leg, finding that nice long hamstring stretch. And then plant your hands, step back now into plank pose. And first plank pose of the class, anchoring in your fingertips, so really gripping the mat. Lifting belly. Think about that long tailbone. Good, knees on the mat if you like. We're gonna go to the floor. And now with your hands a little bit wider, not touching your body, but hands are light on the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades, turn your toes under. Now, press through your feet so your legs, knees come off the floor, and float your float your chest and hands off the floor. So your toes are still turned under and they're still on the floor. Release knees, release body. Take a breath. And then do it again. Push through your feet so your legs are activated, and then lift your chest and hands. So I want you to do it this way so you don't lift your legs too high, lower down. And you work in your upper back. One more time. Push through your legs, and then lift your chest and hands. Breathe. Squeezing shoulder blades together. Exhale down, plant your hands right by your ribs. Shoulders on your back, knees can stay down or up, push away from the floor, and do your downward facing dog here. Remember, if you're tired, downward facing dog can be a child's pose. And then go ahead and take a walk to the front of your mat. Stay in your forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthening your spine. Exhale all the way down. Sitting in your little chair, look forward, arms out to the side and up. Stand. Interlace your fingers, palms to the sky, push. Nice long tailbone towards the floor, root through your feet, really lift your whole side body. And then exhale, hands down. Pause in Tadasana. All right, gonna get a quick drink of water. You're gonna need weights for tricep set, squatting set. So I might not suggest that you get to your lightest weight, but you know, if you're just coming back or you're taking care of yourself, lightweight is fine. I'm gonna do a heavier set. And I want you to use your block again, because we're gonna move into a little squat action one more time. So feet are squeezing, legs are squeezing the block, so you keep your legs really active. And I'll turn. So shoulders are on your back here. And can you feel right away how you want to push your belly forward? So bring that in too. So I call it a match. The front body and the back body are contracted. And then bend your hands so that your weights or your hands come by your shoulders, and then push down and tighten the back of your arm. Curl, push down. Can you feel your triceps, the back of your arm, engage while you keep your shoulders on your back and your front and back body working? Okay, the next time your arms come down and they're contracted, stay there. Bend your knees and come forward. Keep your arms right next to your side. Then bend to your shoulders and push away. Bend to your shoulders and push away. So my upper arms are not moving. I'm moving only from my elbow. Push away. And that last push, where your arms are straight, your shoulder blades are still squeezing together. Down. Now I'm going to add something here. Bring your weights together and by your shoulders, drop it down and squeeze your back. Drop, squeeze. So rowing, working the back muscles. Down and squeeze. Try to keep your legs quiet and your body quiet. You're just moving your arms. Now it's not uncommon for your elbows to come higher than your back when you're doing this motion. So just be aware of that. The higher your elbows are, the more risk to your shoulder. Okay, now we're going to combine it. Straight arms, back in, row. Straight arms, back in, and row. Keep going. Push. So I told you that story about drinking the energy drink. And I typically will work with a TRX when I'm home. So I was doing my TRX work, and I normally do like sets of 10 or 12. Not that day, man. I was doing sets of 25. And squeeze. So it's true, they really do give you energy. Up. One more time. Up. Now bring your weights to your shoulders and hold them there while you come to standing. From here, put your weights together and bring your hands over your head. Squeeze your elbows towards your head as you drop your weights behind you and push away. Try to keep your tailbone heavy and your core body engaged. Toes are used, gripping the mat to keep the bottoms of your feet anchored. So if you haven't figured it out yet, this is a long tricep set. We'd already done shoulders. And down, and up, and down. Keep squeezing the block. Bring your energy and your power from your core body, not from your hands. 2 more. Down, and up, and down, and up. Good. When your hands come down to your chest, sit, and then push. If you can get down by your elbows and your knees, do that. I'm noticing my range is not where it usually is, and my body's still recovering from all the travel. Don't misunderstand. I mean, I move my body around a lot, and yesterday when I was teaching yin, I couldn't even do a couple of poses that I normally can do because my hips are still really tight. 1 more. Down and up. Last thing here, we're going to sit in that chair. We're going to lean forward, weights down. We're going to do 1 arm at a time out to the side. Now this is heavier, so if that feels too hard, lighten it up. So 1 arm at a time. Keep your legs in that squatting position. Keep your spine nice and long. Good. Nothing's moving but that 1 arm. And you remember those little pendulum, I don't know what, they're not really called toys, but they're pendulums and they're metal and they're balls and they swing on a wand. And when one hits the opposite one, it pushes it up. I always think of that here. Last time, other arm. Good. Release the weights. Take the block away. Come to stand. Tadasana. So just pausing a little bit here. I'm going to move my stuff out of the way so you can see my feet. So take your arms out to the side, palms up, and then come off your left heel. Keeping your pelvis still, your shoulders quiet, float that leg right off the floor so you're in a standing balance. And then can you take your same arm, so left arm to left knee, around the knee. And if you can do that, try the right arm. I got a hold of my knee. You can also hold underneath. And I'm going to gently pull. So remember, if you can't do it, just hold your two arms open and just hold the leg up. Or go to one arm, or go to two. Good, release and come down. That's why I give you layers so you can decide. Right heel up, push down through your left foot. When you're ready, float that leg off the floor. So this could be where you're at. Okay? If you're stable, take your right hand to your right knee. And if that's stable, take your left hand to your left knee. And then if you're stable, pull. Standing strong. It's the standing leg that's doing all the work, so pay attention to that. Good. And release down. Take a nice deep breath in. Lace the fingers, push up to the sky, standing at the top of your mat. And as you exhale, release your hands and float down. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen through the spine. Exhale down, right foot back. Think about that high lunge, and I'll show you here with my blocks. I want you to be able to start to think about the straight leg being really long, and not just sort of long, but really long. So get your blocks if you need them. Turn them up to whatever side you need. Okay? So for me, because I've been traveling, I need the high side. Now bend your knee over the lunge, and then left hand on your thigh, turn. Maybe the hand goes to the sky. We did this already. But now I want you to straighten your front leg. Keeping the hand reaching to the sky, keeping the turn, straightening the front leg, back heel off the floor. Good. Release, knee over ankle. Now stay here. Keep your knee off the floor and come up into a high lunge, what we call crescent pose. Breathing. Good. Keep lifting your back foot heel. That really engages the front of the leg, keeping you steady. Exhale down, stepping forward. Inhale, come halfway up. And exhale all the way down. Now take your left leg back. And test yourself again. Can you straighten this leg? So I need the high side on both legs. Knee over ankle, left hand stays still, right hand on your thigh, turn. Hand to the sky, and then maybe starting to straighten this front leg. And you'll notice that it wants to bring your chest down. So at the same time, you're rotating your chest open. We're working in the obliques here, along with stretching your outer leg. So really important to be able to do that action. That's why I wanted you to use the blocks. Exhale, hands down, bending your front knee. Inhale, high crescent. And then once you're here, lift your back heel up, really engage your back foot so that you feel more stable. Breathing. Exhale, hands down, bypass your blocks, move them out of the way, step back to your plank pose. Find your center, really feel and sense what's going on. And then go ahead and bring your knees to the mat. So we're going to play in tabletop pose. Yeah, we have enough time. So We did the hovers already. Now we're gonna do a little movement, a little twist movement here. So I want you to hover your knees off the mat and twist your knees to the left. And you'll notice that you're on your inner and outer edge of your feet. Come back to center and drop. Lift off the mat, twist your knees to the right, and then come back to center and drop. One more time. Lift, twist, center, drop, lift, twist, center, drop. With your knees down, hips go back. Give yourself a moment. And then come back to center. And I want you to test to make sure that you can come into plank pose from here. So wherever you put your knees, don't move your feet or hands. So option one, hips go back, hips come forward, maybe you hover. Option two, keep your knee hovers and go back and come forward. Option three, keep that and twist. Center, back, forward, knees, center, back, forward, twist, center. Remember, you don't have to add the twist. You can keep your knees on the floor. One more time. And center, twist, other side. My feet are moving everywhere. And now find plank. Woo! Knees up or down. Come all the way to your belly. Keep your hands on the floor, but just open them a little bit. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Keep your toes turned under. Press through your feet to lift the knees. Float chest and head and hands. Breathe. Now, if you feel stable and strong, you can take your hands back and reach palms down, and you can point your toes so your feet are no longer on the floor. So now there's no stability. Just got to use your own body. One more breath. Exhale, lower down, turn your head. Wherever you are, we're going to go up one more time. So if you've got your feet and hands off the floor, just go right back to that. If you left your feet and your hands on the floor, come back to that. Head's in neutral. Shoulders are open. Exhale, head turns the other way. Pause. And then hands by your chest. I like to say ribs. Shoulders on your back. Knees up or down. Push. And downward facing dog. Last one. Really use your arms, your spine, your awareness. And then exhale. Knees float open on the floor. Toes touch. Everybody, child's pose. Rest. Palms can be together. You can bring your hands behind your head and wiggle your elbows forward. That's a nice way to stretch your triceps and get into your armpit chest. Breathe. All right. So let's come up and lay on our backs for the final bit. Put your legs in what we call constructive rest pose. So knees are touching, feet are open, and then hands on your belly. Shoulders relaxed. Just take a moment here to breathe. Noticing what's present. Remember the three words: intention. Why are you here? Building awareness to what is actually happening. And moving with inspired action. And then bring your legs into neutral, feet underneath the knees. So we're going to work a little bit with core awareness. So on purpose, as you exhale, draw your lower back down onto the floor. You'll feel your front body contract. You might also feel your neck contract. And then when you inhale, arc your lower back off the floor, feel your front body relax. So we want to find something in the middle of these two places, because if you push your back into the floor, you're going to contract around your neck. And if you arch too far off the floor, you're going to flatten your neck. So find some place that's really comfortable for you. Most people are on their sacrum. Most people, their lower back is slightly off the floor. And then take your right knee up so that it looks like you're sitting in a chair, and take your right hand to your right knee, right thigh, and then push into each other. So I'm pushing my leg into my hand and my hand in my leg, about a third of what I could actually do. And I want you to notice what's going on in your core. Notice your shoulders, notice your jaw. Good, relax, and then switch your side. So left leg up, and my knee is right over my hip, not toward my chest. And then push leg and hand into each other. About a quarter to a third of what you can do. You're just trying to turn on those deep muscles inside. Good, and then come back to center. Right leg, right hand. Now, I'm gonna make it a little harder. I want you to push your hand and leg into each other. That's gonna engage those deep intrinsic muscles. And then I want you to see if you can hold that and stretch your arm and leg apart. And then bring your arm and leg together. Try it again. Can you keep the middle of your body and your neck and throat out of it? So you're active, but you're not gripping anywhere. Good. Relax. Other side, left hand, left thigh, push, engage, and then reach apart. Our sides are different, so don't assume just because you can do one, you can do both. I'm doing this on purpose to give you some awareness of whether you need to take better care or good care. Go ahead and rest. All right, reestablish your neutral position and then bring 2 knees up and 2 hands to your thighs. Push into both legs. Remember, about a quarter to a third of what you can do. And I want you to notice your jaw and your throat specifically. So if that's starting to get tight, you might want to adjust your back position or back off a little bit on your press. Now, this is a harder one. Keep your left hand and your left leg together as you stretch your right arm and your right leg apart. Come back together. Right hand sticks to the right thigh as the left leg and arm come apart. Come together, stick, reach. And so you're going back and forth now, allowing the hand that's on the leg, I think about sticking it there and then keeping it there while the other 2 limbs move. We're working on hip flexor strength, deep core engagement, little right and left balance in the brain. Good. Go ahead and rest. Feet on the floor. Pause. You can let your knees switch side to side. That should not be in your lower back at all. In fact, if you're doing it correctly, you almost don't know where it is because everything's working as a team. You don't have any stress anywhere. All righty. Last one here. So I want you to bring your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers, and wrap your elbows around your head. So this is going to be like your little support. And as you exhale, I want you to lift your head and shoulders off the mat. And I want you to hold your head in your hands. Never should you have tension in your neck or jaw. And then bring your knees up so that you're in that same tabletop position. Now we've made things a little harder. We're going to push one leg away, all the way as far as you can. Come back in. Do not go one at a time, like fast. Go super slow and really pay attention to what's happening. And then the progression to this, if you're stronger, feet touch together and you do both legs at the same time. That doesn't make you a supersonic yogi. That just means that your body's a little stronger. That's all. One leg at a time is completely adequate. It will definitely do the work. So 1 leg or 2. Really think about extending the leg away so that you lengthen your hip flexors, because most of us are super tight with our hip flexors. One more time. Now, if you're doing one leg and you have to do the second side, do it. And then relax down. Okay, so grab one of your blocks. And I want you to put it underneath your pelvis so that it's low side, please. Low side under your pelvis, under your sacrum. Shoulders rolled under you. Take your left knee towards your chest. Hold it with your left hand and slide your right leg down, flexing your right foot toes. Now you can, if you want, grab it with your other hand and pull like we were doing when we were standing. This time I want you to press your right heel down into the mat. See if you can. And do you feel a big action in the front of your hip? And it might be wrapping around your hip and around to your lower back. That's your fascia around this pelvis. And if you're getting that sensation, great. Good, one more breath here. And then put your left foot down on the floor. Bring your right knee carefully up towards your chest. Hold it with one or two hands. And then slide your left leg down. Now before you pull on this knee, get the left leg all the way down so it's straight. And then pull on the knee. And as you pull on the knee, press the heel down so you really activate and get into that deep fascia that wraps around the internal workings of the hip socket and the pelvis and the lower back. One more breath. And then let it go. Right foot on the floor, left foot on the floor. Pause here for a moment. Now you can wrap your shoulders underneath you, push into your feet, lift your hips, and can you turn the block up one so your hips are a little bit higher? That's an option. Palms down, press into your arms to really wrap your shoulders down your back, and you feel like your chest is kind of puffed up a little. Keep all that going and push into your feet to take your hips off the block. So press into hands, press into arms, press into feet, tailbones lengthening towards your knees, opening up the front of the body, working the back of the body. One more breath, and exhale, hips down. Now, keep your left foot down and just stretch your right leg down. We did this already, it's just a little higher. Notice if the stretch or the sensation comes up into your belly now. Take a breath. Remember the legs straight, maybe the heels pressing. And then go ahead and bend the right knee and stretch down the left. I'm not asking you to bring your legs off the floor here because this is a little higher. I don't want anybody crashing and burning. These tissues are deep in the body, and if we do a lot of sitting, which many of us do, they get super tight and sticky. And they cause lower back pain, and you think it's about your back, but it's really not. And then go ahead and bend your leg. Feet on the floor, lift your hips off the block, take the block away, and land. Bring your hips over to the left. You can keep your feet on the floor or lift your knees up and bring your knees over to the right. Let your left shoulder open, your left arm open. And when I do these twists, I always think about this top knee moving forward. You can see my knee is behind my other one. So I'm thinking about reaching it and then also reaching back with my shoulder. I'm trying to pay attention to the fascia around the lateral body and up around the armpit. One more breath. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Hips swing over to the right side of the mat, feet on the floor or not. Lift your knees and go the other way. Right shoulder down, right arm away. And then decide about that lengthening of that top knee. Most of us are crooked in our pelvis when we do a twist. So I want you to think more about that knee moving forward and then also that shoulder staying open. Take a couple nice deep breaths in the armpit chest, because that's where most of us hold that stickiness. I had a teacher once teach a whole class on what he called the pits. And you might have heard me refer to that. So any place where there's pits in your body, like your armpit or your knee pit, your groin pit, there's a lot of lymph that live there. And when your fascia is super tight, it kind of keeps the lymph in this restricted, not a great flow pattern. And then people wonder why we have all kinds of inflammation and swelling. Go ahead and come up. And it's because the lymphatic system can't really do its job very well. Come back to center. So it all comes back to moving your body with intention. Knees touch again, hands on your belly. Pause here, letting your body readjust back into neutral. And then slowly moving yourself into your Shavasana. So you can stay right here. You can put your legs down. You can cover yourself up. You can maybe put something over your pelvis so you feel grounded. And when you got yourself set up, I want you to take a nice deep breath and fall right into stillness for the last few minutes of class. Take a longer and deeper breath. And gently starting to stretch and move, bringing yourself back to your body. And as you feel ready, you can bend your knees, roll to a side, and slowly make your way up to sitting. Once you're seated, take a moment to pause. Sense and feel the echo of the practice, the flow of prana and energy, and the general sense of ease and well-being. Bring your hands together at your heart center, slightly lifting your heart as you bow your head in gratitude for our time together on the mat, our deep body wisdom and guiding light. May our light always shine brightly, and may we always see the light in each other. Namaste.